Summer camp time. Time to do some world building. Woo! I hope all of you are doing well this fine evening, afternoon, morning, morftening, as I've been known to say on occasion. I hope everyone's having fun answering all of these summer camp prompts, because I know it's been, some of them have been hard, some of them have been easier, some of them have been a mix of both. It's a fun little complicated bit. Insert time of day here. Yes, I hope you're all having a great enjoy time here of day. You just cover your mouth and you dub it in over top afterwards. Actually, I probably just open my tracker. It's probably way easier if I open so that everyone can see my progress, which is that I've done 2 of them. So that I've done 2. My music louder than I thought it was. There we go. Hello! Hello, friendly necromancer! I hope you are doing well. So far I've done 2 articles. The Aldil article was the one I wrote for the rank and title for Order, and I did that on stream on Thursday, aka the first 24 hours of summer camp, because time zones are complicated. And then yesterday I did the Constellation article, which maybe I should bring up. Hold on. What's the best way to bring this up? Check your progress. I'll bring it up this way. Ooh, they've added some shading. That wasn't there before. There was no shading here last time. Yeah. I'm currently working on my legend and then I'll do the item. Yeah! Well, I was planning to actually work on the item today, because for some of the articles I do have ideas and I'm still tossing up whether to actually write the ones that I have ideas for on stream. Like, that was the reason I wrote this Constellation article off stream yesterday, because I already had an idea for it, of a kind. It's alright. It's a short article, but it works. It does what it needs to do. It talks about stars. Not super proud of it, but it'll do. So at the moment, the current progress, as you can see, most of these still do not have names, because I still do not have answers to any of the questions they ask. This is the building that's repurposed is probably the only one I've actually thought about extensively, which is, it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. There's a lot of bits. And then there's still, you know, and then there's just bears. Apex Predator is just going to be bears at some point, which will require me to read about what bears are. I mean, I know what a bear is, but I'm going to have to actually read about bears. Hence, I'm not doing that one on stream, otherwise you're going to be looking at Wikipedia for most of the time, because I don't have 2 monitors, so I can't have Wikipedia on one side, or Devil on the other. But the idea for today's stream was that I was going to work on the item template, on the valuable historical or ancient artifact. And I did have some trouble with this initially, because there are some little bits of the world that I've sort of, I guess, that I foreshadowed or mentioned already, but most of them don't really fit. So like there's this particular letter, and I was like, yeah, the letter's like a secret, but like you can't really write a full article about this letter. Like, I've basically written all there is to know about it in the sidebar of one of the people mentioned in its name. So I'm like, I don't know. So I'll create a bear predator on a stream. I was up till 4 AM watching him. Nice! You're apparently like 8 seconds behind, but hey, hello day! You don't have to be on time, it's fine. Or like, up to date. There's nothing that's like time sensitive here. It's fine. So these were my initial ideas when I had absolutely no idea. I was like, a letter? No, I'm not going to write about the letter. It doesn't work. A weapon? That doesn't mean anything. And then about an hour ago, I was like, ooh, actually, I've mentioned some stuff that could actually be useful for that. So if I go to this article, I was spending a little bit of time yesterday after I finished the Constellation article filling out some of the names of the places. because when I wrote this article about like Thralish for the 4th challenge prep thing, no, 3rd. Oh god. Yeah, 3rd. That's it. Yeah, the 3rd one about the active area. I sort of just placeholdered a bunch of these pins for capital cities, and then I was like, what if I actually go in and name them? And so I've named a bunch of them now. And I went and I filled out a little bit of detail. And for this one in Salusma, I went, you know, I mentioned that it hadn't been the capital for long, but it had been once before during the reign of the Naochi kings. And I went, ooh, what if I take this bit about the Naochi kings, and write an item that relates to them, whoever they are. I don't know who they are. It's a learning experience for all of us, I think. Because they're from that, which is Naochi. My name is going to be a golden... Oh, shit. The crack in my phone is directly over the text. I'm like... Oh. Yeah. A golden horn called the... The Vaknithir, and it'll get lost in my legend article. Yeah, well that's the idea, is that I was going to try and do a similar thing. A crown for a king. Yeah, so that was some of the idea, was that it could either be a weapon attributed to their, like, centuries old conquests, because I don't think they're currently a monarchy anymore. The Naochihid, they're not currently a monarchy. And then, yeah, good enough pronunciation. I knew that the is that the thorn? I knew that was a th, and I was like, I got it. I'm almost there. It's just the A that I'm like, which A? I don't know. So it was either going to be a weapon, or it was going to be maybe a crown, and then it can be lost in the legend article, because, hey, there's no longer a monarchy in that country. That crown could be anywhere. Yeah. I wrote about an eyeball. I mean, if it has value, it's an eye. It'll work. It'll do it. Scepters are good too. Scepters are good too. You're right. Scepter might actually be better than a crown, even though crowns are very cool. But a scepter might be better, because then, you know, you can use that to whack someone real good if you need to. It has a practical purpose, to an extent. Not a huge one, but it does have one. So you just whap them. And so that knocks 2 birds. It can be the... And so it was used to, like, I don't know, fight some people in the myth, and then it's a really nice looking scepter, and then it got lost during the revolution. When that revolution happened is unclear, but it happened. Somebody overthrew some monarchies, so I guess what we should do is actually create the lost royal pants. We lost the royal pants. Yeah, crowns are awesome. We should make them fashionable again. I should have grabbed the really shitty plastic tiara that I have in a drawer somewhere, but it doesn't actually fit me, so I don't want to actually put it on because it hurts. It gives me a headache because it's just like one of those really shitty headband tiaras, and it's made for children. And I'm small, but I'm not like 8-year-old size, so it doesn't actually fit on my head. I do have a flower wreath with a veil on it. It's pretty sick, but that's also in like a drawer somewhere. I've hidden it away. It is hidden away with many things. Okay, what does that link mean? What does that link mean? What does that mean? What am I looking at? The Royal Collection. Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! Yeah! The old shiny shit. I have big chunky heads, a few things fit on it. I have a small head, so usually things do fit on me. It's just not things made for, like, children. I'm in that halfway zone between child-sized head and adult-sized head, which means nothing fits. Like, I have a newsboy cap that is one size fits all. It's huge. And I'm just like, well, this kind of blows. Still a cool cap, so I keep it, but I'm like, aw, boo. Ooh, a shield. Ooh. That rules. God. Many, many items. God damn. Why do we have that? Is he in charge? I don't remember. I don't remember if he was in charge. I'm sure he was at one point. When in doubt, everyone was in charge. Yeah, I first set out to be helpful and then shared for the labels for the sections. Labels for the sections. Which, what do you mean? Oh, the who, what, when, where, and why. Stop it. Stop it. No more doing that. Also, Newsy's cap should be big. It's why they're cute. But it shouldn't go over your ears, is the thing. And I'm pretty sure they are supposed to stop. Like, they're supposed to basically fit up to here. They're not supposed to be wide enough that they go over your ears. Like, I could put on my newsboy cap and have it go the whole way. And I'm like, well, possibly a little big. It's still cute. I still wear it. It's just a little big. Little bit big. Anyway, looking for scepters. No, I just put scepter. I think scepters are cool. And so this can be the scepter of what she hid. A name I can't even say. Yeah, no goes over the ears. Have a get all twist. Ah, that makes sense. I haven't seen that movie in years. I forgot about that. I forgot that movie existed. Just flat out. Just forgot. Please, sir. Is that the right one? Yes. So the scepter of Nartihid. I'll just put my quote tags in here, even though I don't have a quote for it yet. Because the idea is that this is a very nice... wrong page. It's a very nice scepter. Very nice. Very fancy. Encrusted with jewels and possibly dragon bones. Don't look at that. God damn it. Encrusted with jewels and dragon bones and all such. And then, you know, revolution occurred and it was lost. So I guess that's the issue, is that... does the myth or legend have to relate to it being lost, or just to something that is lost? Because I can't do it both. I can have it be that, like, the method in which it was lost is somewhat mythologized, because the revolution was a big shenanigan, where a lot happened when they threw out the Naochi kings. So it's like, who knows? Yeah, darn pesky revolution. Card from a dragon bone set with gems. Ooh, bone scepter. Ooh, that's better. Bone scepter is good. Bone scepter is good. So then we're gonna do the who, what, when. Oh, I need to space it out. When, where, why. So the what is a scepter. Am I spelling scepter correctly? Oh no. I need to pick a spelling for scepter. I'm gonna pick R-E. R-E looks fancy. A scepter card from Dragon Bone set with gems. The who is the Naochi kings. Circa long time ago. Long time. Guillotines all around. Oh god. They might not have even killed the Naochi kings is the thing. I don't actually know. Because I don't know anything about them. They probably did. They killed at least one of them. They killed at least one of the kings, and then they went, ah, we're out now. When? Long time. Where? Take a wild guess. It's Nartihid. And the why. Oopsies. The why. Gotta be fancy. See? That's it. We've explained everything. It's a scepter card from Dragonbone, owned by the Naochi kings, a long time ago when they were ruling the kingdom of Naochi. And it was because they wanted to be real fancy. gotta be extravagant. Not just anyone has a dragon bone scepter. That shit, cash money. Yeah. And now we shall have a Lord Protector, completely different to a king because I say so. Exactly. It is completely different. There is no similarity between a king and a Lord Protector. It doesn't matter that my son inherited my position as Lord Protector when I died. I promise, it's just because he was the best person for the job. This is a meritocracy. I promise. It doesn't matter that he then got his ass kicked and abdicated like 3 years later. Doesn't matter. Never happened. It was all meritocratic. It was not a hereditary monarchy with a different name. Swear to God. God. English Civil War. Gotta love it. So, a whack time. A whack time to be a monarch. And then, like, 20 years later, we kicked out another monarch. It's like, can we stop? Can you just stop kicking them out? Just make up your mind. Pick one. Pick one, keep it. But no. And that's why my family are Jacobites, apparently. Excellent. Yes. No, I think we just save that. So we have all of these incredibly useful details saved that I didn't already have. Because I didn't already know the answer to all of these. Okay, so Scepter Nao Shihid. I can't even pronounce the names of anything that I write. I can't say any of the names of anything. I was like, ugh. And this is one of the easy ones too. There's an entire country almost like, I've given it too many umlauts and I do not know how to save them. Oh no. So, quote. I feel like the quote, because I just start each one with a quote, which I'm sure most of you do as well, because quotes are cool. I feel like an interesting person to quote would be one of the titular kings. It's not really titular, but like one of the kings who owned it. That requires me to name one, but I'm probably not going to do that. So maybe it's just, you know, attributed to Noachi King. Circa some point. Sometime, somewhere. Actually, I might make a decision as to when this happened, so that I can say when it was lost. So I can like decide on a date when this country went, monarchy? Fuck that. And like, even though the setting is very loosely based on like an 1800s, yes, 1800s, I'm not paying attention to that at any point. When it comes to the whole democracy stuff, I'm just like, listen, like, I'll make a democracy whenever I want to. So it has to be after this. It has to be after that point. It can be either here, or basically any point up to about here, I think. It has to be like before this bit, I think. Because oh no, I need to go find the other one. How did I have to divide stars up twice? What happened? I need to check more dates. I need to remember the dates. Discovery. Okay, so it has to be before Discovery, because that's when a different country split in half. So it has to be before here. So it has to be anywhere in here. That's a long stretch where it could be anything. I'd probably put it after Collision then. Maybe check them in the call. Maybe they thought they had it for ages and then realized it wasn't there where they thought and went, oh, it's just like when you lose that thing that was on the shelf. Yeah, it's like, you know, we were using it for our, like, coronations and stuff, but then we switched to a different one. So we put the old one in the basement somewhere, and then someone went down to the basement like 200 years later and went, hey, didn't we used to have a big bone club here? And it's like, oh, well, you know, it's like when you lose something down the back of the sofa. It's fine. And it's like, no. No. You just lost a relic. Oh god. Everyone panic. And then like a week later, revolution occurs. It's like, well, we can't go find it now. Because we don't know where it is. And we don't have any power anymore. And we're all broke. So, oops. So I don't think I put it in the recon. Check it in Thoring. That'd be funny. Or maybe it should be call. Check everything in the call. Everything's in the call. Everything happened in the post-collision era because that's when shit gets juicy. So when collision, spell collision correctly, and then I don't know, like 28. Some historians argue it was Mammoth Throne just to discredit the monarchy. Like, come on, guys, like they'd have dragon bone. Yeah. I mean, dragons do exist, so it's not as if they couldn't get dragon bone. It is a material that is capable of being acquired. I guess the main point of contention is the size. Because the idea with the dragons is they're kind of holy, because they're like basically the next best thing to a god. Like they're the step below god. Were they Dovahkiin? No. The Naochi Kings were not Dovahkiin. Holy shit. They were not. So I guess that's the bit, is that if it's a big enough bone to be a full scepter, it's a single piece of bone carved to be a scepter. You have to either be BFFs with a dragon and have that dragon actually be like, yeah, you can have my bones when I die of natural causes, or you're gonna kill a big dragon. And it's like, are you gonna do that? No. You're absolutely not gonna do that, because you people don't know you barely know how to deal with dragons. There's like 2 people who do. Yeah, gift bone, good gift bone. If you put it in your will, it's fine. You put it in your will. That dragon's definitely right. I mean, you'd have to. What they probably do, and that could probably actually tie into the myth, is that the provenance, which I'm using big fancy words. The acquisition's probably a less fancy word, but provenance is a good word for this sort of thing. The provenance of the bone the scepter's carved from. The Naochi kings would claim that it's because they slayed a great dragon, right? Like a dragon was terrorizing the people of the lakeside of Lake Strelish, and the Naochi kings were able to defeat it, kill it, and then took one of its big bones, like a thigh bone or something, as like a trophy, and then, you know, carved that into a scepter, and then in the course of killing that dragon, that's how they became the kings, because of like a whole, you killed the dragon, you saved the people, rule me please. And so that's probably tied into the myth. It's a myth in many parts. Yeah. I read a book once where the dragon was both alive and dead and was trapped on a bridge made of its own bones. Holy shit. That's metal as fuck. That is metal. I guess it's kind of like one of those ghost situations where they're like, you can't leave the place you died. You're basically haunted. So you're like, the ghost is like alive, but the body is now a building, in a sense. And then I remember in a story that had that premise, the way that they got the girl out of the tower was take one of the bricks from the tower and put it in the dude's pocket. That was a good book. It was a kid's book, but it was a good book. So jet smoke and dragonfire. Nice. Lots of dream logic. Hell yeah. All that fancy, fae, tricksy shit. So I guess we'll make a note of, so they claim they killed big dragon to get the bone. So some dispute that it's even made of dragon bone in the first place. Because I mean, it is big. Scepters are big. Like, especially if it's a single piece. Because, like, a lot of the dragons are around horse-sized? Well, no, they're bigger than horses. What's the equivalent? I guess it's like an elephant. Like, a lot of the dragons are elephant-sized. And then there's like the bigger ones, which are like, you know, size of a couple of houses. And then there's, like, the big boys. And so you could possibly use one of the, like, house-sized ones. The bones are pretty long. But it's the killing bit that's the bit. Because you're not supposed to kill dragons. So, you're not really supposed to. They have done it. People have killed dragons for reasons. But you're not supposed to. Holy things. But it's about status. Because Dragonbone is rare. Dragonbone Scepter. This means you're cool. And they have to make the whole story that they killed an evil dragon. A dragon going, like, wild. Just ravaging a neighborhood. And that they would, like, given the role by the gods to kill it. They're basically ripping off a separate story that actually happened to give themselves legitimacy as kings. And then people just threw him out anyway, because fuck them. Who wants a monarchy anyway? Ignore the fact that the majority of the countries in Thrasen are monarchies. Shh. Didn't happen. It's not real. I guess, how would you quote open that? Goddamn. Silly touchpad. I hate touchpads. Touchpads are the worst. I hate them with a passion. Okay, so... Scepter was a symbol of our right to rule this nation, given to us by the divinities themselves. If we could just find out where the... Do I want to say bloody? Or goddamn? No, goddamn. Can't say... It either has to be bloody or like... Fucking... I don't want to... Even though this would be a modern quote of a kind, I think, at this point. I don't know. Where the damned thing is, we would be able to retake what is rightfully ours. Our. What's rightfully our. Heir to the Naochi kings. Leave it as an heir, so it's modern times. That's a modern quote by whoever's the next in line. Like, yeah, it's been like 300 years, but you keep track. I mean, people are still keeping track of, like, you know, all that. Like, even still keeping track of, like, the Jacobites. It's like, bro, that happened in, like, the 1700s. Calm down. You don't have to keep track that bad. Or do you? You know? You absolutely do. When did that happen? No, it was 1600s, wasn't it? Yeah, goddamn. No? No, early 17. That was early 17 was the whole Jacobite thing. I know, maybe slightly too much about things. Review. I love that it just gets crunched. Spaces aren't real. So we heir to the Naochi kings. Right, we'll take you by the domains themselves. If we just figure out what the damned thing is, we would be able to retake what's rightfully ours. The Scepter of Naochid. The best part is this article has no relation to any of the ones I've previously written. Has no connection to anything. Which is good. I didn't even look what the template has. I don't think I've actually used an item template in a while. I could check, but I'm gonna assume that the answer is there aren't many of them. How many item templates? Yep, those were all written for summer camp. Those are all summer camp articles. Oopsie daisies. Oopsie doopsies. So I don't look at the article much. Or the template all that often. So weight. Dimensions. Base price. I'm not going to put that anyway. Rarity. Hella rare. So unique would be the word we'd use. Significance. Fair amount. Mechanics. It's a scepter. It doesn't really have mechanics. Aside from the mechanic of gravity. Where if you go like this, it'll drop. And it'll just whap them. Just shrunk them. Ow. Instruction, material, and components. Aren't they supposed to have those little, like, squares on the side that tell you where the box is going to go? I know some templates have that, but apparently this one does not. I don't remember where bits go. Because if I remember rightly, I had to... I don't know. We'll see. So we'll put Dragon Bone in plain text. We'll fix it later. Tooling. I don't know. Manufacturing process. Type. Yes. Type. Okay. Yeah, but low-key if I was doing this, I'd probably base mine off a Dwarf Fortress artifact. Hey! That is entirely valid. Like, if I actually kept playing that game and figured out what I was doing, I'd probably be doing similar. Except that none of the like cultures are dwarven, so I'd be kind of like, well, oops. The one thing I've done, there are no dwarves. Well, technically there are, but that's like multiverse shit. They're not here. They're not in Tiwamara proper. Trap, trade manufactured good, tool, survival, storage. Religious, musical, miscellaneous, medical, magical, joy, valuable. Let's put it as unique artifact. It bothers me that that's artifact with an I, because I really like how artifact with an E looks. But, oh well. Model. Oh no. You can see that all three of them that I have. It's like I wrote about canes once, I wrote about some ceremonial armor that some emperor wore, and now I'm writing about a scepter. Manufacturer. Ooh. Well, I guess just now it's Yahid. I would argue. And that's the well, I guess, hold on. Yeah. So it's manufactured by the Naochihid, or by the country of Naochihid. And then the only organization is nobody, because no one has it, or will admit to having it. And tech, No condition. Ethnicity, I guess it's Sertheo. We'll check into Sertheo. Location. Unclear. Excellent. Yeah. 79%. Not quite the same, this could be useful to people. Yeah! Because you can do a lot with generators. They can do some fancy stuff. Whoa. My eyes. Yellow pages. Yeah. Created out of ambition. God damn. That. Honestly, this dagger was created out of ambition is metal. I like how that sounds. Like, that's just metal. But there you go, you know. I love generators. They do some fun stuff. Just oh god. Oh boy. There are many. Generators are fun. I'm gonna click all that. Hold on, do they have a scepter in here? Hold on. There. Tell me about the royal scepter. You have it. Yes. Yes. Wait, marry the two? Marry the two who? We had two of them? Oh yeah, we did have two of them. Of course we did. Jesus Christ. What am I saying? Of course we had two. Right, okay. Well, if that's the Glorious Revolution, then yeah, it was 600. Even better then. Even better to my point that we keep track of heirs a long time. Not that the Jacobite one was difficult, because it's basically just the son of the Prince of Liechtenstein, I'm pretty sure. But you know, it took a route to get there, and we kept track for a long time. So, it was made for Married to... Oh, okay, right, because there was two of them. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's cute. I like the little dove on it. That's neat. And then sometimes, oh damn, oh that owns. And they have a version without dove. Version sans dove. Oh no, that's the bottom. And then it's all the fancy accoutrement. God damn. God, scepters are cool. And this one's a big boy. This is one you could bludgeon someone with. You wouldn't, but you could. These are the same things, aren't they? These are the same things? No, those are different. Oh, because that's... Okay. Fine. Fine. We do this sometimes. Big boy. Oh, that's cool. What are you doing here? This is our royal stuff. We're not being specific enough. There are a lot of fancy old items with birds. When me and Nene went to the National Museum of Denmark, took many pictures of burbs. Hell yeah! Many burbs. Because burbs have symbolism. Ceremonial War Club. God damn. God damn, look at that. Chunky boy. Woof. By the people of the New Hebrides. Where's the New Hebrides? What does that mean? I barely even know where the Hebrides are, let alone the new ones. God damn. I feel like this is sort of like the vibe of what this Naochi scepter would be. It's just a very kind of almost brutal looking object that's very much like carved. Because this is like one piece of wood, I'm pretty sure. It definitely looks like a single piece of wood. And they've just carved it all out. Except instead of wood, it's made out of bone. And it's got a bunch of gems inset in it. But I feel like this is like the vibe. God, that's cool. And it's only like 6 centimeters tall. So I'd probably make it taller. I would make it a taller object, because I feel like 60 is not big. And it is a war club, so that makes sense. Yeah, the Old Hebrides are the islands of the coast of Scotland. Yeah, I thought so. I wasn't sure which direction. I'm pretty sure it's like north. North? Yeah. So I don't think it's... I've looked it up at some point. I don't know about the new ones. I'm now going to go find out, because this is just how it is. Where are the New Hebrides? I'm assuming it's in maybe Canada. Vanuatu. Well off. Well off. Very incorrect. It was not even close. I just assumed it was in Nova Scotia. Oh well. There you go. You learn something new every day. The New Hebrides are Vanuatu. / were. Colonialism. We name things interestingly. I'm not sure what relationship Vanuatu has to the Hebrides of Scotland. That doesn't seem to connect in any way to me, but the English, they do what they do. Or the Brits, to be more vague. The Brits do as the Brits do. So, okay, so it's going to be about... Well, I should have looked up while I was still there. It was how big those other ones were. How big are these? How big is this? This one's big. It's a consort one, but how big is it? Really? They're shorter than I thought they were. That is the consort's one. How big is her one? There you go. It's 1 meter long. There you go. That's the stuff. It needs to be a full meter. If it's any smaller than that, it's pathetic. Oh, let me add to the bits. Oh, so they all go in the sidebar. At the moment. All the ones that I filled out already are sidebar stuff. So, I'm going to go update the raw material one. Which I believe is in here. Yes. So, I don't think I had an article... about the bone... I did have the article about the bones. There we go, excellent. I have an article about bones. I think I wrote that for World Ember last year. So, dragon bones and assorted gemstones. Because I haven't written about any specific gemstones in Thrasen. But one can assume that there are many. And they are all included. Because we get fancy up in here. You can't just have any old trash. It's gotta be like the real good shit. Like I think from the drawing stream a while ago, I think it was Thicket recommended the like the black reg opals because they look radical as hell. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. So it might have like one of those in it, but I haven't written about their in-universe versions, so I can't link that. That's a later thing. Maybe there'll be a prompt that will let me expand on gemstones. That'd be nice. But I don't think there will be. I'm not sure how you would manage that. That's like a material prompt we might. We'll probably have a material template. Which would be nice. Have you made an article on the popularity of mullets yet? No. No, I have not. I have not written about the mullets yet. Though, having said that, I could possibly have that tie into the counterculture prompt, because at the moment I'm still trying to bring all the prompts into the active area, and my only idea for the counterculture prompt was outside of it. I could bring the mullets into the active area and have that be part of a counterculture thing, where they just have a bunch where all of them just have mullets. And it's like, okay. Wow. Incredible. Pineapple opals are fun, but not great decoration. Never heard of a pineapple opal, but I'd never heard of a black ridge one either. Pineapple. No. Opal. Oh, those are cool. God damn. The rebellious mulleteers. They're trying desperately to make people think mullets are cool, and it's just not working. Everyone's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that look. It's like, no, we promise. They're cool. I could make it work. I could possibly make it work. I'm hesitant to, but I could make it work. Anyway, scepters. I'm here to write about scepters. Woo. Okay, so the Royal Scepter of Link. Oh, I can't link it. Ugh. Never include dashes. It's a pain in the butt. Because I can't link it by going, nah. I can't go, nah, oh. Because it doesn't link if you do that. I have to go, ochi. And then it'll go. Because a dash doesn't count as a character. And it kind of breaks the link stuff when you're typing it after an at. Like it works, it functions in the link, but it will not do the link if you do it with a dash. And I'm like, damn it, I wish I hadn't made the Byte City shell language use a dash for a glottal stop. I'm like, god damn it, why'd I do this? Why have I decided that this is what I'm doing with my life? Oh well. Limited is/was. Because I don't know if it should be described in the past tense, since it's been lost for a couple hundred years. thereabouts. Like, it might not have even been lost during the revolution, during the, like, collision era. It might have been lost afterwards, but it's been lost for a while. So, I don't know if it should be described past tense or not. Like, it was a big scepter held in the royal palace. Yeah, muleteers, newsy caps, overalls, and mullets with long masses as weapons. I mean, that is a striking aesthetic. And slings, yeah. That is a striking aesthetic. There is more to counterculture than just aesthetic. So I would need to have an actual, like, purpose for them. Beyond the fact that they're the mullet people. Oh no. Oh god, I'm imagining them in my head and I'm like, oh no, that's basically just me if I had overalls. All I need are overalls and a sling. I could do it. Because I've got a mullet. Which is why my hair's up, because then it's not as egregious. Well, that's not the only reason, but it helps. It helps. Yes, we'll use past tense, I think. We'll past tense it, and we'll mention that it was lost so no one knows if it still looks like that. Or is anything like this. Like, it was a thing that we had and we haven't seen in ages, so we're not sure about its state. It could have just been snapped. Or, like, pillaged, pawned off. Everyone yanked out the gems and took the bone and then sold it to the weird dragon hunter people who really like bones. Who are outside the active area, but they are there. And they're dealing with the bones. Weird people. Was a... I feel like that's all. There's more to counterculture than aesthetic. Not sure about that. IRL. No, there is. There is usually some kind of like, because culture is not just how you look. It's also how you act. And so there is action. Like, yeah, to an extent, the way you dress is an act, but there is usually a bit more to that. Like for punks, right? How they look basically all like that. It's because they're rebelling against something. The system, man. Am I confusing them for the wrong people? I might be. But like, you know, they have like a core like thing they agree on that is not agreed upon by the mainstream culture. I guess. There is more to it than aesthetic, but aesthetic is very good. Good afternoon, Natalia. Hello. Welcome to We're Confused. I'm making an old people joke. Listen, I'm young people ignorant, so I don't get it. You know, I don't get nothing. Nothing makes sense to me. I understand my very narrow. I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about World Anvil and my own world sometimes, and then everything else is. No. Okay, was a. I guess I would just say an artifact. Oh, I was going to use artifact twice, and they're going to be spelled differently if I spell it with an E. No. I hate when they do that. I hate when it does that. Yeah, also who really generated gen references. Oh, hey Bob! Hello, Bob. Welcome. I'm checking his spelling. Yeah, so we're using E. Artifact with an E. So now I need to check Artifact versus Artefact. Tell me, how do Australians spell artifact? I need to know. This is the British spelling of the word. That doesn't mean anything. What's the Australian spelling of the word? Do we need a British English translation for whale? Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Oop. Oop. Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow, Sharon. Hello. I mean, it is in British English. It's just that some of them aren't. Like, isn't organisation spelled weird? Am I misremembering something? No, it's spelled with a Z. Yes, it's spelled with a Z, which is a American spelling. So the site is in American, but the people who run it are not. We're having complications. Oh, no worries if you can't stay long. This is only, you know, you drop in and say hello. Yeah. Yeah, S is British and Z is American. This is something I do know because that's one of the things where Australian is identical because we spell it with an S. So then I was like, oh, okay, I like Artefact with an E because it just looks fancy. But then, you know, it was here somewhere. It was type. Oh, god damn it. Where is it? It's Artefact. It's like, you goddamn. Don't use their Zs. I mean, I flip-flop between saying Z or Z. I'm trying to make it rhyme. I'm gonna add it in manually. I'm gonna add it in as Artefact manually. I'm in the wrong panel. God damn it. There's so many panels. Type. Unique Artefact. It is now spelt correctly. Yeah. Artefact. Yeah. We're often taught British English in school, while all media is basically American, so my English is a mess. Honestly, same. Like, even though, like it's Australian, we have technically our own branch of English. In practice, we're taught British, but then we're raised with all the American media, so we end up... That's why Australian's as weird as it is, because we just combine the hell out of both of them. And then we have a couple that are just unique to us, and that nothing recognizes. Like, if you spell veranda with a H at the end in Australian, because that's just what we do, and then nothing recognizes veranda as correct. Yeah. And color is annoying without the U. We don't really dub things to children's movies as well. Yeah. I like the U's sometimes. I keep forgetting to use the U because of doing CSS. CSS is in American English, so I keep forgetting that we're supposed to do U because I had to teach myself not to. Because, you know, if you spell it color with a U, it doesn't work in CSS. I'm like, damn it. Yeah. I only get the U to appear more French. I mean, when in doubt, blame the French. We love to blame the French, like you do. Oh no, the puns. They're coming. CSS. I like CSS. I do my CSS. This is the third theme that I've done of my world. I love CSS. And color is spelt with no U in CSS. Because all code, all internet code is American based. So you can't spell... I can't spell the way I would want to. And so now I just stopped spelling like that. What's an artifact? Belonging to the old Naochi kings who used to rule that country. Yeah, it's scary. It is a little bit. I guess the reason that I never see it as scary is that I was taught it in a, like, teaching environment. Like, I did a course that taught me, among other things, how to code a website from scratch and then do it CSS. So I'm like, yeah, this is all fairly simple. I learned in the most low-pressure environment possible. And then my brain was just like, this makes complete sense. So it was easy for me to pick up because of that help. If I'd been doing it on my own, oh god. I don't know how well that would have gone if I hadn't had a kindly middle-aged man telling me how to make the website go. God. High school was good. High school was good. Yeah, I wish I had. Yeah, it was a good course. I didn't even plan to do it initially, but I was like, I need to do something on Wednesdays at high school because of how high school works. I'll just do this course that's in the neighboring suburb, and then I learned how to make a website, and I was like, sweet. I also learned photography, but that has not carried through. I am not great at that. What's an artifact? Belong to Bernard. Kings used to rule that country. Kings with a capital. Kings with a capital. My sister's teacher was a guy who was a student and also does amazing manga art stuff. Nice! Oh, that rules. That is very cool. Now, my teacher was like an actual, like, 40-year-old teacher at a different school. It wasn't even my school. I went to a different school to learn this. And then when I got to uni, like, grad student, PhD student tried to teach us how to make a website in a different unit, and I was like, I already know this. You can't teach me anything I don't already know, ma'am. For me, CSS is self-taught, but it sits on top of 40 plus years of programming. Yeah, that'll do it. It makes sense, because if you have that background of knowing how to know, like, how websites and, like, the internet and computers sort of function on the code level, CSS is just more of the same. It's all very similar, at least in my experience. I think I learned HTML and CSS at the same time, so I was like, ah, yes, I know it all. And I've learned more since then, because coding for World Anvil themes, I'm like, ah, yes, I must learn. And then W3 school will tell you basically anything. And the CSS I know on my own, but I've got a few years of programming in school, which definitely helps. Yeah, it helps to have been taught, in my opinion. And then hobby coding is HTML coding is a hobby since I was young because I wanted to make websites. That'll do it too. That'll always help. Was an artifact belonging to the Narchikis used to rule that country? Guess what would be the next bit after that? Because I like to do a little bit. Oh yeah, I predate the internet. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Nothing wrong with being a dinosaur. Dinosaurs are cool. Yeah, you need to finish our website. Oh god, websites. I'm not good at actually making websites, like even though I have done, not good at it. Mostly because they won't teach me the fancy stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. You're not going to teach me any of that cool JavaScript, and I'm like, I don't know any JavaScript, I'm not touching it. I'm terrified. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm a hobbyist, I don't need it. Once used in the coronation, just used in coronation ceremonies. It has been missing since, let's pick a date. Let's pick a day. Because I've basically roughed in 28 collision is when revolution occurred. Oops, wrong page. Wrong page. Wrong page. So maybe let's make it just later in the call. Like, I don't know. Or maybe even early in Ascent. Because they even immediately after the revolution, there probably would have been some shenanigans. And so it might have just stayed in the capital for a bit. And then they lost it later. Possibly during a counterinsurgency. But the word I want? It might be. Yeah. I know the basics of programming in several languages, but I suck at the actual designing part, so I don't do a lot of websites or themes. Yeah! I get that too. I'm just like, I know how most of this works, but oh god. I did make a neat website for uni once though, that was pretty cool. Java's easy if you were coding C for 15 years. I mean, in comparison, right? Yeah. If I have the CSS world, because it's fun. Yeah! My CSS often ends up being fairly, like, basic, just because I like how World Anvil looks, and I don't want to make a mess of things. Like, everyone else's things, I'm like, wow, you do incredible stuff. I just don't want to touch it. I'm not that... Even though I'm an artist, I'm like, I'm going to just chill. I'm going to chill with it. Missing, so let's say 56 collision, which I'm going to then put a tooltip on. I'm going to explain how many years away that is. Oh no. That's going to require math. Well, actually, that should be fairly simple math, because 56, it's just 45 minus 56. 425 minus 56. 369! Ooh, nice. 369 years ago. It has disappeared, never to be seen. It's been gone for nearly 400 years. To be honest, it's probably been pawned off by now. Or it's in the bottom of the ocean. Well, not the ocean, like the lake. Like someone just chucked it. Which maybe that's the myth. Maybe the myth is that because it disappeared, no one knows where it went. Some people decided to make this like story, especially the like democratic parties of that, of Narchihid. They were like, oh, you know, one of our brave revolutionaries broke into the old royal palace, grabbed the thing, and just yeeted that son of a thing into the lake as an offering to the dragon in the lake. And they're like, yeah, you can have it. No more royalty in this country. Yeah. Once you get to understand how sections display in articles, you can do a lot with, yeah. It is a versatile thing if you have all the fancy tools. Like, I have containers. I don't use them for much, but I have them. And if I started looking into, like, the custom article templates or even the, like, RPG sheets, goddamn. You can do a lot with that. Yeah. Go on to the other side of the collision. Ooh! You're a genius. It might have been. That would be one way to lose it. Like, if it was lost at the same time of the titular collision, which was like for anyone who doesn't know, the collision is basically just two worlds, like metaphysical planes that went sort of got combined and did some weird melding stuff. And so bits got taken up and moved to different levels of it. And so if it disappeared around that time, there would be various stories about where it went. Some people would say that it just got lost the other side like everything else did. And some would say, no. It wasn't lost to the other side. It stayed here. It was stolen. And then there's this whole long, intricate, winding story about how it was stolen, and it was stolen by people who were against the monarchy, and then it was stolen back by the monarchy. Before they could use it in a coronation ceremony, they were overthrown, and it was stolen again, and blah-de-blah-de-blah. That could work. That could work as a date for it to have been lost by, and a incident for it to have been lost in. Especially if it hadn't been used for a while, so people might not have even noticed that it was gone, which was the whole thing earlier. It's like, we don't know if it's gone. Been lost since. Maybe we'll just link the collision. Include the links. Draw it into other articles. It has been missing since the collision. Full stop. No dates. I don't have to play with dates then. I mean, I do. I need to update that article so bad. God. That article is old. Poor thing. Once used in coronation ceremonies, it has been missing since the collision, with many parties accused of having stolen or sold it. Full stop. And that's that section. And then we can start a next section, which would be, because then we'll discuss the fact that it was fully lost. Because this is meant to be the factual article, where you just talk about the artifact as a physical entity. And then the myth article, if you choose to tie the two together for the two prompts, it's basically describe a valuable historical or ancient artifact in your world, which is what I'm doing now, and then write a myth or legend relating to a famous long lost item. If you choose to do these two prompts on the same item, this is where you describe it as a physical entity, and here's where you describe it as like a symbol, as a nebulous thing that existed and things happened with or around it or to it. So that's the idea. So in this article, we'll be focusing on the fact that it's just missing and no one knows who has it, because no one knows who has it. And then people suspect that it was just poofed out of there, because a lot of weird stuff happened in the collision. Like, there might have been like only a chunk of the palace that disappeared. Yeah. I got it. That was a shame. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for stopping by. I got so much done in the last hour. Productivity. It's a nightmare. You're distracting, but you're all lovely, so it's okay. It's okay in the end. So you can do pre-prompts in one-ish. Yeah! Like in the intro stream, they were highlighting the fact that these two, because they're so similar, you can absolutely write about the same thing, and all of them sort of tie in together in ways, like you can combine a lot of them. Like, I've seen people use the document to talk about either the religion or the law and order part. You can tie a lot together, which is neat. And so tying these two together is the most obvious connection, where you basically just write two articles about one thing, which seems a little bit like overkill, but hey, I'll write about a cool bone scepter. I'm not gonna complain. Who do you think I am? I'm gonna make it cool. Okay, so this is gonna be basically the what, which is basically the physical description of the object. What is the way I would describe that? What's the word I'm looking for? Not that. Ugh. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. None of these. Okay. This is why I don't use this template. It confuses me. I feel like this should just be a description box. Where it's like, but like with a fancier word than description. You just write about what the thing is. And then you can go into greater detail if it's like a mechanical thing. I don't get it. We'll just put description. We will change that later to a fancier word. Okay, so this scepter was unique amongst its contemporaries, being carved not from precious metals, but from dragon bone. Oh god. Only 5 dragon articles, but there'll probably be more. Oh god, there'll probably be more. From dragon. Oops. That was the wrong link to click anyway. Mystic bone. I will link the bone. But from dragon bone. Bone, not plural. It was from a single large dragon bone. This large bone was engraved with many patterns and inset with rare gemstones all throughout, especially at the head of the scepter. How would you describe that? Ooh, yes. 3 sections. The junctions of the rod. At the base. That's a gold mond. What does a mond mean? I don't know what that means. I feel like the word I want is head, but I don't know if I want to say the head of the scepter. What is a mond? Explain to me what a mond... God damn it. Is an orb... There you go. It is literally the word I'm wanting. It is the mond. Ah, there you go. So I guess. Though it appears that this is not necessarily used in the scepter context. So maybe if I just pull up the actual scepter article, which it is spelled correctly. Excellent. Never any doubt. The finials. We're just gonna use the top of the scepter. Especially in the dragon's head carved into the top. So basically it's a big old dragon like thigh bone. And then at the top they've carved a like dragon's head. That rules. God, I want to draw that so bad. I'm not doing it, but I'm gonna think about it. This large bone was engraved with many patterns and inset with precious rare gemstones all throughout, especially in the dragon's head carved into the top. It was also unusually large. At approximately 2 meters tall. Big boy. It is a big scepter. At that point, it's probably more of a staff than a scepter. I think there is a distinction made. A scepter is a type of staff. Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm gonna call it a scepter anyway because it's fancy. Staves tend to be a bit, or staves, apologies, tend to be a bit less fancy per se. Tend to, not always. Some like fantasy staves tend to be tricked out, but because it's a specifically imperial, like royal thing, I'm gonna keep using the word scepter for it, even though it's huge. Like 2 meters is big. It was probably bigger than the majority of the Naoichi kings. The majority of them. Some of them may have been just tall people. I was like, God Lord, you're like 7 foot. What? Everyone else is like 4'5". What are you doing? Gem dragon opal? Yeah, it could be dragon opal. I don't know. Like, do you mean like the gemstones are called dragon opals, or that the dragon head is carved from opal? Because I don't think, based on the way that I've sort of set up the stuff, I don't think they would call it anything dragon opal, because there is a similar gemstone in a different country, or a different continent, mind you, which is basically, oh, there's actually a thing? Oh, okay. Well, my apologies. Dragon opal. What does that mean? No. God damn it. God. RuneScape. RuneScape. Holy shit. Whoa. Whoa. Ah. Burning molten metal to check glass. Why is so much RuneScape stuff in here? Why is this search so full of RuneScape? They're so pretty though. Wow. That's a very pretty opal. It probably does have gemstones like this in it. It would not surprise me. Let us learn what a dragon's breath opal means. Australian opals are black, polar, or white, and there's crystal and red. And then a dragon breath is not an opal. It is Czechoslovakian glass with metal in it. But it does look sick as hell. God damn. This is what I would want in a wedding, right? I'm like, bruh. Fuck. Screw like regular diamonds, yo. Dragon's breath opal. It is more equitable to costume jewelry. It still looks cool. It still looks hella dope. God damn. Well, I mean, since it's glass and metal, I'm not sure that they would have the technique available for that. To actually make those. But I can just have them be fantasy, so honestly, who cares? It looks like the Hour of Sauron speaking through the Palantir. Yeah. I mean, that was the immediate. It was like, wow, that is an eye of Sauron staring directly at me, and I don't like it in that way, but I like it in every other respect, because that is very cool. So yeah, they probably do have gemstones that look similar to that, I reckon. Opals are just really cool. I'm gonna end up writing an article about opals. If there is a material prompt that lets me write about gemstones this year, bet your butt I'm writing about opals. I'm just gonna do it because I've got a bunch of them to go through. Because there's the Lightning Ridge one that I was gonna take advantage from. Yeah. No, I was gonna take inspiration from the Lightning Ridge ones because that was from the drawing stream, and then Dragon's Breath ones. I'm gonna write about opals, gemstones, man. Yeah, good stuff. So opals are basically unique to Thrasen, which is great. well, not the cool ones are unique to Thrasen. The boring, lame white ones are just... That's Abravo's deal. I can have the boring white ones. We've got the cool, like, red and blue ones. Just owns. Usually dodge. That must be 2 meters tall. I don't know how much else could be included in your description of it, because it's fairly simple. It's like, hey, it's a scepter. The top is a dragon's head, and it's 2 meters tall. AKA taller than basically everybody except for the elves, but they weren't even around, so you don't even have them to compare to. And elves aren't even that much taller, so it's like, okay. We don't have 2 meters is tall. That might be part of the myth, that the dude who made this was like 2.5 meters tall. Big dude. Colossal dude. And so he had a huge scepter built to his height. And then everyone else is standing there like, I can't even hold this in my coronation. You're trying to coronate like a 6-year-old? And they're just like, we can't even hand this scepter to them, because if we let go of this scepter around this 6-year-old, they're going to drop it. And it's either going to break or literally flatten a child. And we don't want that. You see like a giant scepter. Like giants. Like for a giant. Big tall man. Tall dude. Mythically speaking. Possibly real. He probably was like just a really tall dude. Who just wanted to make a big staff. And then all of his descendants were not as tall as he was. And they're just like, oh god, it's big, it's heavy, we can't do it. Yeah. Do that in history. How a young prince got badly injured by it. Ooh, yeah. That can be in this history portion, because I've written the physical description, and now we're going to give a brief, factual history of what occurred, being that it was crafted around some time, that its first owner, it was said to be tall dude, and that a young prince got flattened by it at one point and like broke his leg. And they're like, oh god, maybe we shouldn't give this to children. Or any short kings. You just can't give it to them. It's like, oh god, it's huge. You know, you have to coronate like a 6-year-old, so you basically just like put the scepter down on the ground and have the kid like lean down and pet it. Poor short kings. Yeah, I could never be a king of Naatihir, not just because it's no longer a monarchy, but because I would be flattened by its scepter. So they definitely made a new one at some point, because they were like, listen, over time we've just gotten shorter for some reason. Like, we're just not 2 meters tall anymore. It just didn't, the trait for height petered out over the lifespan of Naatihir kings. So we need a shorter scepter. But we're going to keep this one, obviously, but we're going to not use it for our coronations anymore. We can't have... They probably even had, like, a poor dude die at some point. Maybe not one of the kings, but, like, a dude just got, like... They're like, oh, no. Yeah. I get to the point where the kings look for height when they look for sex. Yeah! Yeah, they absolutely did. They're like, we need to breed tallness back into this family. We're too short to use our hereditary scepter. I realize it. The scepter has a height limit. I'm just like, yeah, I'd like to be the king. And it's like, well, are you tall enough to ride? They pull out the scepter, put it down. And I was like, ah, shit. I am not tall enough to get on. I'm tall enough to sit on the throne. I'm not tall enough to hold the scepter that you only have to hold once in your reign anyway. I also wouldn't physically be able to hold it because it would just kind of heavy fall over. So you gotta be tall and buff. You gotta be tall, buff dudes. And unfortunately, some of them were not tall, buff dudes. Because decadence tends to breed that out of you. You stop being buff and you start just being kind of... Nothing's there. Amongst the royals. Like, swings back and forth between the thrones, like, don't insult me. I'm not that short. But yeah, I wouldn't... The throne probably wasn't... Oh, actually, hold on. The throne probably was tall. But they replaced that a lot quicker. Because that was a more obvious issue. Because, you know, you sit on the throne fairly often, so you can't... so you can't have the throne be too big. Because then it starts making everyone look tiny. And you'd be like, oh no. This is just making us look weak. We need a new throne. We'll make the throne make it look... It still has that optical illusion, but we can touch the floor. Just make it slightly smaller. They make a replica of this fancy scepter, but out of silver, because it's easier to get, and it's not 2 meters tall. It was with 2. Okay, so it's basically only if you're like 7 foot. 7 foot, touch this... Artefact to the royal platform shoots. Yeah, pretty much. And then Artefact 3, the Royal Stepstool. You just have all of those. And then you have also, and then Artefact 4 is a really tall crown that's meant to make you look taller, like a stovepipe hat, but it's crown. There's just a bunch of people just extremely overcompensating, even though they don't even have to, because they're still pretty tall. Like, they're not 7 foot, but like 6 foot's still pretty tall. But they're just too short for this specific huge scepter and this big throne. So they have to just compensate. And everyone's like, you're good. You're good. Hashtag Popat. Hell yeah, man. Popat. Oh god, that's a crown. Ugh. Okay, so when was it made? We need to do some math now. I'm sorry, it's math time. Need to pick a day for a time for this to have happened, because it happens after this, because this is the destruction of Diladun is the story upon which the provenance of the scepter and of the country is based. The Pope is king of the Vatican. Yes. Of a kind. Isn't technically the seat? Isn't the chair the king? And he's just the dude who sits on it? Because the Holy See. I guess it's like the Holy See is like the same thing as the crown. I don't know, man. King. But it's after the destruction of Diladun, because the whole thing with Diladun is that it got destroyed by a dragon. And because the Naochi had nothing to do with that. Like, they didn't even know it had happened until it came upriver. And they're like, hey, did you know that, like, this big country just got boofed? It's like, whoa. So then, you know, they're like, we're inspired. And so they just take this story and they run with it. And they try and make a version of it, even though it definitely didn't happen. And then, you know, shenanigans. The chair is a mimic. I mean, if my world had mimics, there would definitely be a country in which the actual ruler is the chair. And everyone thinks it's a metaphor. Like, you know, oh yeah, no, the crown is in charge, just I'm the person wearing the crown. It's like, no. The ruler is straight up the ruler. The chair is in charge. We just can't tell you that. Because of, like, reasons. So, like, we're literally telling you the crown is the crown, like, the power to run this country is held by the throne. They're like, okay, like, no, the throne. It does hold the title of king as a separate title. And it's the last non-hereditary elected absolute monarchy. Nice, tight. I love elected monarchies. I have at least one of them in this world. Different country, not Naochi, but now it's here. It's a different place. So it's after this, maybe it's during here. Maybe it's a redemption thing. So it's probably before Conquest. So we'll say this is made during redemption sometime. With the word Perseus? With the word Perseus in my music? Ooh. I might come check that thing out later. That's why I flipped. I'm like, let's get this on the video, and then I can come back to it later and be like, ooh, song. Neat. Okay, so the Royal Scepter is believed to have been made sometime in the... I'm going to link to the calendar here so that people know what the hell I'm talking about when I say Era of Redemption. Long story. Era of Redemption. I can't spell the word redemption, but that's okay. There's a spell check in Euclid, and it bothers me. And then the Era of Redemption. By the orders of the first Naochi king. Full stop. I'm not naming him. I don't want to. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not conlanging on stream again. It's just an embarrassment because it's not good. It's just a mess. It was the first Naochi king. Due to his staggering height, he ordered it be made twice as tall as those of his contemporaries. The Holy See is top of the Vatican Church. Technically, Vatican State is separate to this, governed by its king. Pope and king just happen to be the same person always. It's super weird. I mean, I guess it's kind of like the same kind of weird that makes the president of France the king of Andorra. We made a mistake. But he's not the king of France. That's the important part. He is not the king of France. He's the prince of Andorra, who no one cares about. So it's okay. Twice as tall as those of his contemporaries. Now. It was first used ceremonially at his coronation, which he held to celebrate his conquest of a large, of a swath. Is swath the word I want? Swath is probably not the word I want, is it? Swathe? Swathe. Wrong swath. Swathe. A swathe of neighboring kingdoms. No one likes dropping issues. It could also just be my internet. Let's be clear. We're Australians. Nothing good happens to us and internet. The fact that I'm actually able to stream continues to boggle my mind. I feel like it should not be possible. And yet, it functions. It lives. Which he held to celebrate this conquest. So he's already king at that point, but he held a coronation to celebrate conquest. Fair enough. Even at the time... Oh, no. It was supposed to be ceremony at his coronation, which he held to celebrate his conquest of a swathe of neighboring kingdoms. I'm assuming his name was not Naochi. That's not what his name was, but you know, it's fine. Next step would be its towering size was initially no problem for the kings, who were unusually tall for the time. However, as time went on, the scepter began to dwarf the newly coronated. No, the word coronation bothers me because it really feels like I should be able to say coronated, but apparently it's not a word. You can coronate someone, you can have a coronation, but you are not coronated, you're crowned. And I'm like, listen, bud, why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta prevent me from using the obvious word, which is coronated? Because what if, I know it means like, be crowned, but it's like, you know, it feels a little bit different. It's got a different vibe than crowned. Because being crowned implies that there is a physical crown involved, but what if it's more of like a symbolic thing? You know, you're being handed rulership. You know, I don't know. I'm talking out of my bum, but it's like, I don't know, man. I want to use the word coronated, but I'll use the word crowned. Fine. That began to dwarf the newly crowned. As time went on, the scepter began to dwarf the newly crowned. Neutral for time. Caused particular trouble for... I feel like he needs a name. If I'm going to talk about a specific king who done goofed and dropped the scepter during his own coronation because it was really heavy and big, either gonna need a name. Like with the prince, I can sort of brush it aside as, you know, he got flattened by it. Maybe the young prince got flattened during somebody else's coronation. I don't know what role kids have in the coronations, but we'll say that the kid's like next to him. And it's like, I know I'm being crowned, I've been handed the ceremonial scepter, and oh shit, I just flattened my son. Oops. Panic ensues. For king. King. Compendium. Give me the Google Sheets. You fool. I don't know why it defaults to this page, but it's really helpful that it does, because this is the one I want. Of all of the many tabs, it defaults to number 3 for some reason. But that's okay. Maybe it's like how... Maybe it's Halvis. Oh, I do have a dude called Halvis from somewhere else. Maybe it shouldn't be Halvis. It's not Vidal. Gods. Not Shadow Dude. Haha. Not listening some Approaching Nirvana. Hell yeah. Oop, shit. I closed the tab. I got excited about Approaching Nirvana. Thinking about Minecraft going, ah, yes, the times. Being distracted from my duty. It's not a Vukin. Could be a Zokin, I guess. I've had a Zokins before. Those widows are... Oh god, I can't even find anything in my own charts. Usually that might be good. Use the word Uchla. Uchla. Let me Uchlavis, which I believe means like a person who is a star. Star-like. So Uchlavis, he's checking him a number. He doesn't matter. He'll never come up again. Whose short stature and weak arms led to him dropping the scepter during his coronation, breaking his son's leg. Just real casual, like a 2-meter tall scepter, and it must weigh up. Shit, son. Just whap him. Just breaks the kid's leg. It's like, ouch, Jesus. It's rough stuff. I wouldn't have wanted to have been there at the time. So, after this incident, it was determined that the scepter should no longer be prominently featured in this ceremony. Instead, no, actually no, it was still going to be there, but it was going to be in a different context. From this incident, the scepter was no longer handed over to the new monarch during the ceremony, instead being rested on a table and for the monarch to, for the king to lay his hand on when swearing his oath to the Naochio people. People of the Northern Bay. Well, this is north, isn't it? You have to use the full thing, otherwise, oopsie daisy. Well, I guess they are just northern people. They can be the northern people. That's fine. Up to the Naochi people. Oh god. I forgot there was all... I forgot all of this was down here. Whew. startled me. But remember that there was, oh yeah, there was notes down there. Oh, I probably should save. Oops. That's why I got confused. The article is still super not saved. Oopsie daisy. Boom. Oh, hell yeah. There you go. Hey, I've already hit nearly 300 or 400 words. That's the stuff. Receptor was further downgraded when subsequent kings, well, king with a capital K, the king and the kings, so subsequent kings, when, oh maybe we'll use the late, when later kings decided, spelling, hard to do. Later kings decided to have smaller replicas crafted, enabling making the use of the original in the ceremony now obsolete. It was then moved into the royal archives in a secret location and only rarely brought out for any kind of ritual. Its last known use was in time. Back to the calendar article. Let's just pick a time. Let's say, like, I don't know, 6th thawing or something. In 6th thawing. At the funeral of the so-called warrior king. Oh, I changed keyboards. God damn it. Which Lavis X. One can assume much time has passed between Uchavis the 3rd and Uchavis the 10th. Uchavis. I can't pronounce words. It went missing in the wake of the collision, with no one quite sure about its whereabouts. Efforts were made by the Naochi kings to locate it. However, they were overthrown and massacred before any serious efforts could take place. And that's just how it ends. It's like, they tried to recover it, and then just kind of got overthrown and super murdered. Real chill, like, you know? Just kind of be like that sometimes in you know, the equivalent of the 1500s. That's a bit early, but it's the equivalent, not the exact. Math? 400s. 1400s. Who cares? Not my problem. And so boom. Boomed. It be destroyed. And then there's this big blank, which I'm no fan of. I'm no fan of having a big space in my sidebar. This is not allowed. But one quick thing I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to add a bit. Because I do a bit on... Oh, there's an next step too. Oh, God. Sections... Author notes. Because I like to make a note of which prompt it was that I was writing in the thing. Ignore the fact that it says 19. I don't want to have to fix the container name. Because the custom class is WASC19, because I made it last year, and then I'm like, well, if I change it, I have to go back and change all the other articles. I'm like, no, I'll just keep calling it WASC19 by accident. This article was written for the. Oops. What? What? I'm confused now. Oh no. There you go. Prompt of summer camp 2020 container. Boom. And then I can add an excerpt as well. At the ceremonial artifact used in the coronation of Naochi kings. Well, I guess it's Naochayo. Because it's the Naochi kings, but they are Naochayo shenanigans. Whatever. Okay, we're back in. Alright. So I like to add a little thing on the side, and I'm gonna put... Is the word provenance the actual one I want when I'm saying provenance? Yeah! It is the word I want. Excellent. All those videos about conservation paying off. Provenance. Well, the scepter indisputably existed. Whether it was actually made from dragon bone is less clear. The Naochi kings claimed it was made from a single bone, but this seems unlikely due to its colossal size and the lack of evidence that a large dragon was killed at the time the scepter first appeared. It may have been made from a collection, or from a few bones attached together, or from a... I don't know if it's like a similar material. It would all just look like bone. Because like if you make it out of silver, it looks like silver. There's only so much you can do with that. You can't really make silver look like a bone. Maybe a silver compound painted to mimic bone. Notably, all replicas made of the scepter by later kings were made of silver. I think I want canes. The cane stick dragon might be good for that. We'll just save that, and we'll see how that looks. Save? Save! We'll see how— oh, shit! Home button. Hey! That's actually the perfect picture for that. I used that for the canes article, but it actually works pretty well for this, since it's a very similar kind of design. Because I think I was looking for dragons when I found that, and I went, oh, that's actually really good for the canes thing. So maybe I need to space that out a bit. You might need a line break in the middle of it. Let me check the... Oop. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's burrow there. And then I think, since I think I am going to write the myth about the scepter, either its disappearance or just its nebulous existence. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put provenant. Oh, maybe not. Scepter time. Because the name does not matter. The story of the Portuguese scepter. I'm gonna make that. It does fit. Ugh. I'm so glad my computer screen is actually big enough to fit that box, because on my old computer it didn't actually fit the whole thing. It was a pain in the butt. And I might put it under claimed, since this is about the... Well, I guess the question is whether the myth should be about its disappearance or its existence, its creation. I think I might do it about its disappearance, just because the existence of it is going to end up being very similar to the story of Diladun, and that's just kind of boring because I've already written about Diladun. Well, it's not very similar, but it is a similar kind of vibe. Not sure about the whereabouts. Nope. Still getting all it's on. Yeah! I've managed to make a whole article. It's about 600 words, actually. God damn. That's more than I thought I'd actually get when I started this, because I didn't have any ideas coming into it. But we've done it. We've got it. It's double the required, though I do have BB code and containers, so... And the little thing at the bottom, so... you know, it's like 600 words. Let me see the way, but no, I'm quite sure. Where would I link it? I might put it into whereabouts. So we're going to pop that in there. I'm going to say whereabouts, and then that'll be a link when I actually write the myth article. I think that'll roll for it. It's now 10 words longer somehow. It's like, I didn't even add that much. I'm confused. Where did the extra 10 words come from? Unclear. So yeah, Saturnatihid. I don't think I need to add anything else to it, because its disappearance is going to be discussed in the myth article, which I'm going to write at some point. I'm not sure when. I haven't decided that, because I'm still figuring out the progression such that it is of the things. Hold on, which article is this? This is this article. Hey, nope, that's the wrong article. This one. Well, I'm gonna resolve that so it's out of the way. Scepter Shihid. And it is 6. Oh, shit. No. Buttons. Where'd that come from? Where did that appear in there? And then complete. I'm having the other problem. 900 words, 1500 words. Yeah, I've had that. Last year I wrote an article for the... There was a prompt about like a war or something, and I think I wrote a 3,000 word article about it. And in my defense, it was a War of the Roses shenanigan-esque thing, but it was long, and I was like, wow, I wish I hadn't done that. So I am trying to keep it slightly more brief this year. I'm trying just to not let that happen. But the Maisma Courthouse might end up actually doing that, because I've got a lot of ideas for the Maisma Courthouse. Let's publish this bad boy. I reckon that's a completed article. And then I can submit it before I forget. The last thing I want to do is forget to submit the article for the actual thing, because then I'll just be sad. Yay, so now I have 3. I can actually check how long it was too, because I do have it written down somewhere. No, maybe I go in here. I can find it from here. Where are you? Where are you, you fool? Summer camp. 2019, please. There, that might be it. Is that the one I wanted? No, that's somebody else's. I don't know whose that was. Oh god. I wish that it wasn't so bad when you're doing that. I wish it wouldn't do this to me. This is just annoying. Why you gotta be rude in how you do sheets? I just want to see my own sheets. Owned by me. My own sheets. 2019. Summer camp. Oh, I think I know which sheet that was. Summer. God damn it. Did I not make a sheet? I'm positive I made a sheet. Maybe I didn't. Oh well. Maybe it was this one. It might be this one. Nope. 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 Never mind. Never mind. Ugh. I know I made a list of it somewhere. It's hidden somewhere around in a place. Yeah. Some of the temples just have a lot of bits to fill. It's easy to get carried away. Yeah, it do be like that. Sometimes it's just a lot. What statistics? No? Largest articles. Here it goes. Boom! That was the article I wrote for last year's summer camp. I haven't even opened it since I did the CSS. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, I need to fix those. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, write about a conflict that shaped the political climate of your world. I think I actually missed that bit. That was actually an important part of that prompt. Oops. But yeah, that was a... Oh boy. Oh boy. A long one. But these are the only two that are really long. Last year's World Ember and last year's Summer Camp wrote huge articles. And then there's like these two Inktober ones, which are just long because I have to like explain what each of the images are. And then this is the longest normal article, which is about one of the main countries of the other continent. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That should be a long article, you're correct. None of the other ones need to be that long, though. Like, these two are just... Well, this one has actual writing in it. That's why this one is as long as it is. Oh, wow, that's longer than I thought it was. Oof. I didn't think the diaries one was actually that long. How did it get that long? Oh. Yeah. Now that adds up. This is a long article. It's one of my favorites, but god. No wonder it took me like 6 days. Like, that was a commitment where I was like, I'm going to write about these diaries, I swear to god. And then I wrote it. By god. Even made art for it. That was a fun time. There was no prompt for that. And this one was just because, I don't know, I felt like making a mistake and writing just a lot. But yeah, so that is a completed article. I'm gonna check my 5 notifications since I started. Ah, excellent. Articles. More articles to read. That's the codex, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So that is an article finished. So I'm now nearly 10% of the way through summer camp. If I was only doing 30, I would be 10%, but I plan to do 33, so I'm not. That means that I have 7 more articles to do. I've been doing them 1 per day because in previous years I would do like 1 or 2 a day, but because we're not getting any new prompts till the 10th or, you know, 4 AM on the 11th in my time zone, I don't want to run out of prompts. Because then I'll just be sad. Because I like having prompts to do. And if I run out of prompts, I might run out of steam. So I need to space it out. So that means I have 7 left. This one will be about the scepter. Let me just write that in real quick so I remember. So I remember what scepter time is. Then there's a religious leader, which I do have an idea for. There's going to be one of these, which I wrote about a couple days ago. But who did some independence stuff. Then there was bears. There's gonna be just the bears, which I'll need to go track down that that bear predator that Zog apparently looked at or something. Someone mentioned that earlier. I'll have to try and track that down to get some inspiration. There's always editing to do. Yeah, editing. Yes, the thing that I do. I mean, I do have editing I do need to do. There's a couple of old articles that need heavy edits, and so I can absolutely fill time, but, you know, I focus a lot on having external motivation for things, and summer camp is perfect for that, because it's like, you know, if you do 10 prompts, you get a raffle, you're in the raffle. You do 20 prompts, raffle but more. 30 prompts, more raffle. 33, big raffle. And I'm like, ah, yes. A motive, and so then I'll do things. So I need to actually just motivate myself to finish stuff. Then there was the condition. I still don't totally know what I'm doing for that. I think I said dragon's blood. Just drink dragon's blood and something goes horribly wrong. This one, I guess, is now mullet, people. Mullet ears. And overalls. Mullet ears and overalls. They're doing things. And then there's the courthouse, which is a church. Yeah. And I've been creating a lot of stubs. But I don't want to touch them in case they fit future prompts. Exactly! Like, I want to write stuff. I'm like, I don't want to write stuff in case it turns out that it's important. Like, I can't write about the country of Nawachihid in case that there ends up being a prompt that I can write about them for. Which sucks, because it means there's a bunch of countries with names and no details. I'm like, damn it, I need to really fill out the details of these countries. I know nothing about them. Or any of that stuff. And so then, the repurposed building I have the most... Oh, wait, Malmobites. The most ideas for, because it ended up just being like, hey, we took over a cathedral and we defaced all your statues and put them in the cathedral as like a middle finger to you, and now it's a courthouse. Oops. And then this one was either going to be a holy text or a law book. The document one's going to be hard. When in doubt, if I can't come up with an idea for the document, I honestly might end up doing what I did for the first summer camp I did, which was 2018, aka the first summer camp, and write about like a fantasy thing. Which sounds like it doesn't make any sense, but I promise it makes more sense in context. Which if I go track down that article, it'll become clear what I mean. I get the feeling August is going to be busier than July. Yeah. Plus, like, uni's going to kick in for me in, just over a week. And so, like, the latter half of this month's going to be busy already. And then August is going to be filling out stubs, like, filling out all these new ideas, rewriting old articles that need to be updated. And then also, university continues. So I'm like, ugh, God. Hold on. It's in here somewhere. There it is. There it is. This was the first summer camp I did in 2018. I wrote a Twilight knockoff for one of the prompts. And so, when in doubt, if I have to, if I just cannot come up with an idea for the document prompts, I'm just going to do that again. And I'm just going to do that again. Because this time I'll actually... Well, no, I had read Twilight by that point. Maybe I'll parody something else if I run out of time. And I'll parody a different book. That requires me to have read other books, is the issue. And I haven't read any books since February? Oops. I had one and then I had to return it because it was overdue at the library. I was like, damn it. I'm gonna just put fictional story or instructional. Because I could also do instructional as well, which might work better. Because lore would be a bit dense, even though it would tie into a second prompt. Because they want us to like tie prompts together, and some of these are. So the Owlville is tied to the religious leader who has no name yet. The Divided Stars is very loosely tied to the Owlville because of like the whole balance thing. The Scepter too are tied together, and then this one could be could be tied to the courthouse, which is technically tied to this because of shenanigans. I'm not sure yet. Oh, and I have to develop at least 2 new adventure arcs in the next few weeks, or my places are gonna get restless. Yeah, you got a lot to do. There's a lot of stuff to get done. Ooh. You just gotta fill it all out. Everything piles up together. But it's fun. World building is fun. I love it. That's why I'm still here. This is probably the world I've spent the most time in, and I'm still having fun. So honestly, I think that's a win. I think I've succeeded as an individual. I've done good. That I'm still actually enjoying working in this world. I've taken some breaks, but by and large, it's just been TUMR time. Boom, boom. So, that's good. If it survives 2 entire summer camps, Goddamn. Because my first world died after summer camp because it just went horribly wrong for me. Like, even though, like, this is from my old world, the Twilight the Twilight knockoff was from my first world, Asavla, and the world did not survive summer camp. It just kind of did not make it through the rest of that because I just exploded out. It was because it was built because both of the worlds were based on a singular story, but Asavla just kind of everything just kind of went out and it stopped being useful. And technically the same thing has happened with TU Amara, but with TU Amara the important thing is that I've come up with new story ideas to fill in those spaces, which has meant that it's not as egregious. Like in Asavla, I built up like an entire separate country that did not matter, literally at all. And I was like, this is a waste of my time. I've wasted my time and now I'm confused. And now the core story is falling apart and something's gone wrong. But this time I think I've managed to not do that. Because it survived last summer camp and 2 world embers, so I think it's okay. I think the world will survive, and that means I can keep having fun and keep world building. And it's entirely for fun. As I said in my meta, or in my introduction, purpose, shenanigans. Yeah, that is a completed article. That is article 3 of 10 so far, or 3 of 33, technically. I'm basically just now stalling until Zog Mad Dog actually. Yeah, I'm gonna raid Zog. I'm killing time until Zog actually goes up. Because I don't want to raid in the break. I want to raid pretty much as soon as he actually flips on. Yeah, this is my 4th extensive world. Been doing world building for 40 years. Got a long fun future ahead of you. Hell yeah. This technically isn't my first extensive world, aside from Asavla, which I'm not sure I would count. I have had others, but I've only been world building for 20 years. I've got nothing. I've got nothing on 40. There is plenty of time to continue making all the fun things and having fun. And maybe one day I'll actually make something from them. Oh boy. Ah! I've just opened my Streamlabs. Turns out I was dropping frames a lot a while ago, and I think that was what Day's problem was. I think that was something my internet was not good about half an hour ago. But it's better now, I think. I'm pretty sure it's better now. Yeah. I would have been streaming now, but barbecue. Honestly, I respect that. I guess why I picked streaming at the time that I am, because it's midnight and I don't have any responsibilities. It's like, hey, I'm streaming from 10 until 12. Nothing is up. If I was streaming at like a more reasonable hour, then I would be like, oh no, what if I want to, eat food or do things? But we sorted that out. It's all good. Everything has been fixed on that front. That's why we stream at the late hours. I need to open the thing. Oh god. It turns out I apparently wasn't following Zog, I don't think. Which is why I'm confused. Things are confusing when I do things like that. Yeah. That's what, see? That makes my life way easier. If I hit the button, I'll know. And then I can just, do the thing. I guess I can probably start the host bit now. Dog, mad dog. Boom. Oop, that's just host. Oh no, that's not what I want. I want to do raid. I want to do raid, Zog mad dog. No.
Good.
There we go. There we go. That's it.
Holy cow.
Things are hard.
Is now hosting
Oh.
already. Wow.
There we go. Okay.
got
Ah,
started.
I'm hearing the stream in the background. No. There we go. Okay. Panic. We're gonna raid Zog Mad Dog. Thank you all so much for coming to my stream, and I hope you're all having, fun doing summer camp, and that you're working through the prompts at your own pace that's comfortable for you. I will see you all in the future or around. Bye-bye.